My name is Abe. I was Employee of the Year. Now I'm dead meat.
Pull a gun on me again and you're dead meat.
Dead meat! You might actually beat me. You really think so? Hell no! You're dead meat.
Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror video games and show you how they were made. I'm Zoran Big Dad Wolf Gavoyich, and today we're looking at The Quarry, released in 2022. Developed by Supermassive Games, The Quarry is the spiritual successor to their 2015 hit Until Dawn, once again following a group of teens thrust into a horror movie scenario, with branching paths and player decisions deciding who lives and who dies. Only instead of old friends in a snowy lodge running around in towels, The Quarry follows a group of counselors on the last day of camp running around with no towels. This time around, the cast is a mix of fresh yet recognizable faces and bona fide horror vets, all of whom were digitally scanned and motion captured their performances with the utmost level of professionalism. Until Dawn's director Will Biles and writer Graham Resnick returned to helm the project, this time accompanied by co-writer Alex Farnham, who would go on to work on the Dark Pictures game The Devil in Me. Like most horror or video game sequels, The Quarry can feel like a rehash of its predecessor. It's got a lot of the same mechanics, fake-out slasher elements, hell, even the monsters look pretty similar. But far from being a carbon copy, I think The Quarry is actually an improvement in every way. First off, it looks gorgeous. Hell, they even made these close-up character menus just to show off their tech. I mean, look at these pores. Look at them! And sure, it's not exactly fair to dunk on a 10-year-old game like Until Dawn, but The Quarry looks just as good as that game's 2024 remake, even when it glitches.
You goddamn piece of shit!
Secondly, these characters are just so good. Each and every one of them, from the smaller supporting roles to the villains, have a lot more depth revealed over the game. And thirdly, the writing in this game is hilarious.
If anyone here had a podcast about them, it'd be me.
Yeah, if there was a podcast called How to Look and Smell Like a Bat.
Of course, I might be biased because I got to play this entire game with my work friends. That includes Bella, Michael, Ben, Addison, Tim, and briefly Josh. Sorry you had to work on Silent Hill while we played games, bud.
It's a living.
And this was all thanks to the new co-op Wolfpack mode, which allowed the Dead Meat team to vote on decisions, and whether I agreed or not, I followed the majority rule, with all of us joining in a Wolfpack howl on unanimous votes. You could of course watch the entire 4-part playthrough on the Dead Meat Presents channel for free, and you'll get the full experience, including the annoying clicking on the screen to direct my attention dots.
Can I get one click out?
You guys, you know what you can do right now? Get your clicks out. Everybody click on the screen. As with Until Dawn, I'll be counting my specific canon playthrough. That means no restarting, no guides, whatever happens, happens, and whomever dies, dies. And that's final. And since player deaths are permadeaths in this game, I'll be bringing back the Butchered Butterfly Award for the best multiversal mutilation. And now we can, shit. I lost my train of thought. I don't know what to do next. Oh, right. Sponsor segment. Here I go. Hello. Didn't expect to see me today, did you? Well, since our last sponsor session, I've gotten glasses. Tell me, have you gotten any new accessories? Ah, everyday earbuds classics from today's sponsor, Raycon, an auspicious choice. After all, it's Raycon's anniversary as we speak, and they're celebrating with 20% off these very earbuds you have. But here, of course, you're finding your own, and in one of my favorite colorways too, Cool Mint. The classics have a whole range of new colors, in fact, allowing your earbuds to be about function and fashion. But those aren't the only upgrades classics are packing. They've added active noise cancellation, multi-point connectivity so you can pair with 2 devices at once, and an ergonomic fit that stays put no matter what you're doing. Plus, they have an awareness mode to help you stay tuned into the world while you're using them. Like how I stay aware while I'm cooking, walking my boss's dog, or getting lost in a wood full of monsters. They also have 32 hours of battery life in the case, and a quick charge that gives you 90 minutes of playtime on just 10 minutes of charge. Yes, these will last the night. Maybe better than you will. Oh, don't look so nervous. Over 3 million people already love Raycons, and they come with a 30-day happiness guarantee in case you don't love them, but I know you will, just like I do. Mwah. Click the link in the description box or go to buyraycon.com/deadmeat to get 20% off the Everyday Earbuds Classics. And now, enjoy the kill count. Can our campy counselors all survive this Quarry story? Let's find out and get to the kills. The game begins with an opening credite sequence. Oh, look, it's Laura and Max, two camp counselors headed to Hackett's Quarry, the summer camp where they work. They're arriving a day early, or at least they would be if Max wasn't as clueless as Scott Pilgrim.
It begins with an L, like the L word.
Lesbians?
Lost, Max, we're lost.
Their bickering is interrupted when Max swerves to avoid something, or someone, running them off the road. Thank God we don't end up in Silent Hill, just a ditch where Max tries to fix his ride. Laura's flashlight skills are just absolute garbage, so she leaves to investigate a strange sound in what social media manager Michael thought was the actual quarry.
You know what a quarry looks like?
I don't have a single goddamn clue.
We find a poster for a traveling freak show called the Harem Scarum, featuring a fortune teller we saw earlier as an apparition in the back of Max and Laura's car. I wonder what that's about. And there she is again. Go in again! Laura books it out of the jump scare ditch back to the car, only to be accosted by the local sheriff Travis Hackett, played by Ted Raimi. Damn, Ted, you are looking real creepy. Oh, no! Ted was last seen on the kill count in Intruder and has been seen all over his brother Sam's Evil Dead franchise. Actually surprised Max didn't recognize him, since he seems to be a fan.
You've seen The Evil Dead, right?
Travis warns the kids against heading to the camp with the creepiest pencil lick ever.
It was just Travis licks pencils creepily or something like that. I remember putting in the data and I was like, this is horrible.
He tries to deliverance them from evil, suggesting they stay the night at the Harbinger Motel, which they do not do, heading to the camp anyway. Arriving at Hackett's Quarry, founded by American Idol winner Kelly Clarkson, it seems pretty devoid of life, outside of the shirtless darkened shape in the lodge's basement. Thinking someone might be trapped, Laura and Max break in, and we get one of my favorite shots of the game. Major props to director of photography Amrit Bajwa, who was able to shoot the game with a screen he could move around the environment like an actual camera. Each scene was then lit to be shot from any angle by lead lighting artist Thomas Jalul, using deep shadows and textures inspired by Caravaggio paintings.
I never in my life thought that I would say the best lit production I was ever on was a video game.
We find the remains of an animal, and that looks like a head, so per Outlast rules, it's counted. And it's later revealed to be the camp mascot, Ian the sheep. As the camera hitchcocks, Max gets knocked off screen by a shirtless jumping shape. When asked whether to save our now bloody air buddy, our wolf pack was shockingly split down the middle, but I took care of that.
We're helping Max, you monsters.
And looks like we made the right choice, since he's gonna be all right. Psych! Was a show he was on. Before Laura can go after him, she's injected with some drugs. In the back of her skull? All right. Her drug and body pusher is Travis, who shoots at the shirtless off-screen shape in the basement.
Does this look like the goddamn Harbinger Motel to you?
No, but it does look like a goddamn title card! Accompanied by a cover of Fly Me to the Moon by Alma Cogan. That is, if you didn't turn on the alternate music option designed to make the game safe for streaming. This mode swaps out the banger soundtrack of licensed songs, including Ariana Grande's Moonlight, with some extreme music tracks that are still pretty good, but designed to avoid copyright claims. That's so considerate, if it actually worked. The game fades into a witch's hut, where the camera wobbles far too close to the Harem Scarum fortune teller.
There's no need to worry. I'm here to help you.
This is Eliza Vorez, no relation. She fulfills the same role as Peter Stormare in Until Dawn, giving lots of cryptic clues to the player, thematic ramblings, and loads of dead animal skulls. Moving on,
Hey! You counted an animal head there, and what's all those things behind her?
They're animal skulls.
Yeah, they are. Faster Skelly rule isn't so dumb now, is it?
No.
Get to counting.
I'm supposed to play catch with my kid. Could you just do that for me?
Oh yeah, I'll throw him around.
It's not what I meant!
Phoenix, come here.
No, stay away from my boy! Well, after spending hours ignoring my child to count these, I'm able to add 74 kills in, like, the loosest sense of the word.
Was it worth it, Zoran?
No. We move on to Chapter 1, Hackett's Quarry Forever, or at least since 1953, a fun flip on the year of Camp Crystal Lake. With the summer over, our teen counselors are sending their bus full of happy campers sound effects home. Our counselor antagonists include muscly bellhop Jacob.
You can help me with the bags or what?
Snarky cool girl Caitlin.
Jacob, get bag. Caitlin moves on with her goddamn life.
Equally snarky comic relief Dylan.
I can only deal with one shit at a time, Jacob.
And Nick, who's Australian.
A, it was Dylan's idea, and 2, it was really funny.
You know, honestly, it's kind of hard to keep track of these teens when they don't have a freeze frame with their 3 character traits surrounding them. Notably missing are Laura and Max, who the counselors have been told just ditch their jobs. Jacob has been having a summer fling with the camp's resident hot blonde Emma, but it's recently come crashing down.
We are super cool.
So she dumped her ass, huh?
I can't see why. You're so youthful with that backwards cap.
Boom. Oh. There it is.
Oh man, good save.
Becoming a little clearer now. And to buy himself time to win her back, he sabotages the van by taking a rotor arm. You know what? Good choice, Emma. While Jakey's making his big mistakey, Emma's palling around with her best friend Abby, she of the perpetual sketchbook. While gathering their stuff, Abby finds John Kramer's childhood toy.
I want to play a game.
That we pocket for future use, much to Michael's dismay.
Bella wants the saw bunny.
On the cart ride back to camp, we learn Abby's crushing on Aussie Nick. Personally, I prefer shipping Abby and Emma, but that's probably a long shot. Or is it? The girls rejoin the group just in time for a ghost story from introvert counselor Ryan. He's been off listening to a podcast this whole time. The totally radical, bizarre yet bona fide. This week's episode covers the local legend of the Hag of Hackett's Quarry.
What's the Hag of Hackett's Quarry?
Oh, you don't know about the Hag of Hackett's Quarry?
Tell her about the Hag of Hackett's Quarry.
I don't think she wants to know about the Hag of Hackett's Quarry.
Can we just please stop saying the Hag of Hackett's Quarry?
Okay, I'm sorry. That there's one more.
The Hag of Hackett's Quarry.
The Hag of, well, you know, is the ghost of an old woman who died in a fire and is cursed to haunt the woods looking for her lost son. We then go from ghost stories to ghost face with the grand entrance of camp counselor Chris Hackett, played by seasoned kill count veteran David Arquette. Mr. H is your typical Steve Christie type goof.
Them's the rules, you noob.
Better listen, that man knows about rules. Chris is given some extra shades through his work-dad relationship with Ryan, and given Officer Dewey shades with the soundtrack.
Hold that thought, partner. I'm gonna have to take this.
Ryan is a longtime Hackett's Quarry Hacketeer, and over the years has gotten close to Chris, as well as his kids, Kaylee and Caleb. I'm sorry, why is that photoshopped? You have the game models. In fact, Supermassive is known for 3D scanning actors. And I gotta say, the Quarry's characters are some of their most impressive work yet. To create them, they brought in Digital Domain, the Oscar-winning VFX house co-founded by James Cameron, which worked on Titanic and like all the Marvel movies ever, including Morbius. Oh, I'm sorry. They captured the cast performances over the course of 42 days, resulting in 32 hours of captured footage, then feeding all that delicious data into their Masquerade facial capture system, a tool initially developed for Thanos in Avengers Infinity War. While Digital Domain primarily worked on film and TV, they were able to adapt many of their tools for game development. This included digital eye tracking and a facial animation tool called Chatterbox, which saved time by creating a library of each actor's facial expressions that could be accessed later.
Once that's digitized and it's in Maya and Unreal, we can do whatever we like with them. You know, they're like puppets.
Awkward laughter.
To be honest, we don't want to. I mean, the reason we choose actors like this is because they're really good at acting, and we don't want to muck about with that.
And yes, that is James and Chelsea there, who got to play the game with the entire cast and crew years before I became the Dead Meat Game Daddy. Chris seems to be in a hurry to clear out camp. Unfortunately, he's foiled by Jacob's property damage. Boys will be boys. Okay, Jesus, Jacob, give him the rotor arm, dude. He doesn't. So with no way to get everyone home, Chris leaves, with a stern warning to stay inside after sundown. Of course, the teens immediately ignore the Randy Man's plan in order to throw a party. Tracy Jordan would not approve.
Parties are like frisbees. If you throw them the wrong way, they'll veer off in a bad direction, and then your kid will fall into a quarry.
But for the Dead Meat team, a party is the perfect chance to pair up Ryan and Dylan.
I want the boys to kiss!
That is it.
That's not this decision. It's not inkistant.
Unbeknownst to them, they're in the crosshairs of some scary forest folk. That includes the legendary Lance Henriksen, best known as various bishops in the Alien franchise. And, who's this bloody boy?
Is that Deepwater Horizon star Ethan Suplee?
Yes. Yes, it is. Chapter 2, Truth or Dare, sees the group split off to party prep. Jacob and Emma break into the camp's general store looking for beer.
Looks like you're trying to thread a needle with a packet of loose sausages.
That's what you said the first time we made love. They get in, and Jacob's beer dar leads him to some jokes that not even Gallagher would do.
Check out my giant melons.
Hey, no sexualizing the melons.
You just cut a hole in it?
What did I just say? Emma leaves Jacob to smash his melons and ends up finding some shark dentist supplies, a pack of fireworks, and a gun that she does not know how to use safely. Jacob grabs like 1 case of beer, okay, but more importantly, a bag of peanut butter pops.
Pop, peanut butter pops. Pop them in your mouth. Pop.
No notes. And I was really excited to learn that actor Zach Tinker improvised this dance, even though he can't remember the words to the song.
Pop, peanut butter pops. Oh no, how does it go? I'm blanking on the song, no!
Tinker's actually Emmy nominated for his work on The Young and the Restless, but he also had a very brief appearance in American Horror Story's 1984 season. And his character of Jacob was the most divisive during our playthrough.
I need this man to be killed.
I'm still Team Jacob. No, not that one. Never that one. Back at camp, Ryan takes Dylan to Mr. H's office so he can charge his phone, as well as look at his gun and Billy Bass collection. He opts not to take the Pow Pow back to his family band, which is fine, since we've got some bona fide sparks between these two.
Bona fide.
Boner. Fide. Get it? Boner.
The team resoundingly approves.
This is a dating sim now.
Dylan can't resist poking around his boss's quarters, finding a trap door. But where could it lead?
Secret sex dungeon.
Get down there. Tell me what you see.
Oh my God, Ryan, you will not believe this.
What?
It's nothing.
All right, it's official. I'm now on the boy-kissing bandwagon. More snooping reveals a hidden surveillance room, and Ryan is uncomfortable seeing all this TV glow, so he leaves, leaving Dylan to snoop, eventually seeing Vukovic terminate the camera feed.
It's probably nothing.
What are you doing?
Our final duo, Nick and Abby, are out gathering camp firewood. Sadly, they don't find any immunity idols, but do grab or psychically burn a tarot card, which is this game's equivalent of the totems from Until Dawn. Like totems, tarot cards give you visions about events to come, but unlike totems, you have to turn them into Eliza to see them. So we'll put a pin in that for now. Abby has a sudden art attack and just kind of expects Nick to stand there while she draws. Oh, that's okay, Nick. Why don't you use this little piglet and its ma to teach us about the don't breathe mechanic, which is similar to the don't move one from Until Dawn. In fact, each of the game's tutorials is also accompanied by a cute Fallout style animation, complete with Rod Serling narration.
Be warned. Exhaling or running at the wrong time may just mark you as the creature's quarry, causing serious consequences.
The narration was provided by Mark Silverman, who actually played a CGI Rod Serling in Jordan Peele's Twilight Zone reboot. Having successfully don't breathed long enough, Nick is able to say a fond farewell to the hog of Hackett's Quarry. Everyone regroups by the lake with their party supplies, with Nick getting mighty excited about the snacks.
Pop, peanut butter pops. Pop them in your mouth. Pop!
Caitlin, however, is less than thrilled to add a gun to the party. Takes the boys on the range for a shooting tutorial, where she proves to be a much better marksman than either of them.
Pop, peanut butter pops.
Yeah, that's what happens when you mess with the homecoming warrior. Of course, referring to her actress, Brenda Song, best known as the coiner of the Prindle.
The what?
The Prindle.
It is a gear shift.
The letters stand for park, reverse, neutral, drive, and low.
Careful, Brenda. I hear hooch be crazy. Song's also known for The Social Network and a personal favorite, Blue Eye Samurai. And to add to her badassery, Song actually shot most of her scenes while pregnant and finished them right after she'd given birth. As night falls, the teens play the titular Truth or Dare. Emma dares Ryan to make out with either Caitlin or Dylan. A tough choice, but Team Deadbeat's all about the boy kissing. That's it? Caitlin's a good sport and turns it back to Emma to choose between Jacob and Nick. She decides to make her former jealous with the latter, and it sufficiently sours the mood, with Abby and Jacob socially distancing themselves from the group, which is something they had to do on set as well, having shot during the pandemic. In fact, Biles was unable to travel from Europe for shooting and had to direct everything remotely like a billy puppet.
I want to make a game.
Additionally, COVID restrictions meant many of the actors couldn't film at the same time.
You have like a kissing scene with somebody and it like legitimately looks like you're kissing the person, but you are in a helmet, a Velcro suit, and your helmet has a camera and you're not touching the other person. And you're like, have your arms outstretched and you're doing like weird kissy faces into this camera.
For the fire pit scene, the actors had to shoot in 3 groups of 2, all at different times. This was a constant challenge for the cast and crew who had to keep track of emotions and scenes that were being captured months apart. In total, the entire production lasted 3 years, from the initial conception to its release. Chapter 3 sees some trouble in paradise, with an angry Abby getting lost in the woods. Ooh, don't roll a 1 or Otis is gonna strike. Nick catches up to her and apologizes, all while Sarah McLachlan-like music plays in the background. This song says I should adopt a cat or a dog. They quickly make up and make out. However, their summer lovin' dreams are ripped at the seams, just like Nick, who's attacked by a shirtless hunching shape. Abby decides to help, but either way, she's gonna be jumped by the mystery monster. He gets scared off by a gunshot, giving her the chance to run away, run away. We pass all our QuickTime events, including a Prey-esque tree confrontation, and make it to a hiding spot, where we manage to wait out our tonguey tormentor. Jacob's down by the dock, coming out of his emotional shell, while also skipping stones. Emma catches up to him to apologize and critique him.
Technique needs work.
That's what you said the second time we made love. Jacob's actually pretty pissed, but he calms down quick once Emma suggests dipping skinnies in the lake, despite the very clear no swimming sign. Ugh, these kids are just begging to be eaten by a killer oil slick. I actually find these two's relationship really interesting. Emma likes Jacob enough to keep him on the line, despite only viewing him as a fling, while Jacob keeps overstepping to try and date her without really listening to what she wants. It's messy and toxic in a way that's pretty realistic to 2 dumb teens. The game makers were actually careful not to moralize with their characters, especially in regards to their decisions.
The characters are, by nature in these things, a little bit kind of douchey to start off with anyway. They're just, they're not lovable characters. I mean, they're not horrible either. They're just flawed people, but
Each character basically has 2 possible arcs. Selfish and selfless, with neither being the objectively correct way to go. Jacob leaves to go find a tarot card, and many clues. Luckily, our lengthy clue collecting doesn't stop Emma from derobing like it did with Jessica and Until Dawn, which is too bad, because there ain't no towels to keep her warm. Oh, maybe that Nosferatu on the island took him. Maybe we investigate.
Get back down here, Jacob.
Nope, you heard the Naga Hackett's Quarry. Let's go! Jacob strips down himself, completing his transformation into
Jacob.
But little do these 2 know, they're swimming just above this game's first human kill. Sparky Pilastri, is that you? No, it's actually revealed to be Ed Benson, a hiker who went missing months ago alongside his partner, Anne Radcliffe. And while she is presumed dead, we never see her body, just some torn bags. So without any substantial evidence, she stays off the count.
But a lack of evidence doesn't necessarily mean it's not true.
Grace, have you ever done jury duty?
No, why?
Good, no reason.
Emma wants to take their fun to the island, but Jacob hears Abby scream in the distance. And to make matters worse, he dropped the rotor in the lake? What? Why? Why were you keeping that in your underwear? Anyway, we're given a tough decision between diving in after it or going to Abby. And if you do have him dive, he'll ultimately lose it when he's scared by the body, and may even drown if you mess up real bad. However, the team chose to play the hero, leaving Emma alone in the water.
Seriously?
And whenever you make one of these choices, the path is updated and displayed as a very cool VHS cover with art by supermassive illustrator Wesley Nike, in collaboration with UI artist Giles Wood. The trio left at the fire pit hear Abby scream as well. She then comes running out of the woods saying Nick is in trouble, and it's for some reason left up to Ryan to rescue him?
Go after Nick! Go!
Why? He didn't even do the shooting tutorial. Nevertheless, good guy Ryan finds a bloody Nick being dragged away by one of those hunters from earlier, whose name is Bobby. We opt not to shoot him, just in case this is a Tucker and Dale situation, but Nick bites Bobby's finger and gets away. Ryan then watches Bobby shoot his own pointer finger off before very casually walking back into the woods.
Major props to Without a Paddle star Ethan Suplee.
Jacob's running Jacob through the woods when he's caught in a rope trap that was an interesting thing to motion capture.
They didn't actually hang you upside down for that?
No, they had me, I started here.
Okay.
And then I went like this and pretended I was like hanging.
You're on a roller coaster or something.
Basically, yeah.
Bobby arrives, but Eliza encouraged us to see things from a different perspective in an earlier tarot vision. So we opt not to fight back as he cuts us down and covers us in blood. As mentioned many times by writer Tim, Bobby's played by Ethan Suplee. Last seen on the kill count is conspiracy theorist Gary in The Hunt, but is more widely known for My Name is Earl, Boy Meets World, and the Great Schooner Sailboat Debate of 1995. Bobby sends Jacob on his way as it's revealed a different trap put Mr. Pig on the count. I kill ya mañana, that's what I will do. We return to Tia Dalma's hut where Eliza invites us to see our future. But since we collected 2 cards in this chapter, we can only choose one for the reading. And by the way, huge shout out to Alex the Nerdy Raccoon, who acted as our tarot tour guide during the live stream. Thank you, Alex! We go with the tower, which shows us Emma missing a zip line and... I'm sorry, was that it?
Back to it then.
Wait, but I have...
Back to Hackett's Quarry you go.
No! Chapter 4 is entitled Don't Panic. Ah, damn it, we could have really used a towel right about now. I mean, it would have definitely helped with Nick bleeding out over here. He seems to be drippings with black goo, and Dylan believes he has an infection, but we decide against an amateur amputation. A noise from the bushes sends Ryan into attack mode, but this boy at school relaxes his trigger finger. Good thing since it's just Jacob, who you can kill in this scene without the characters even realizing. Whew. 2 potential deaths for Jakey so far. What did he do to deserve? Oh yeah, the rotor thing. Jacob perfectly acts out his misadventures, but Ryan still has some questions.
Why are you covered in what I hope is strawberry jelly?
Cause it's fucking delicious, lay off! Jacob wants to go after Emma and tries to take the gun, but our detective Pika chooses to keep it. Jacob storms off on his own while the remaining counselors decide to head back to camp. They better hurry because the most evil wheelbarrow in the world's gonna kill him! Woo! At the lodge, Dylan and Ryan split off to retrieve the second gun from Mr. H's office, as well as call for help.
Who should I call?
911.
You mean 911? Who says 911?
I don't know.
Okay, I have to say, I absolutely adore the writing in this game. It had myself and the team laughing out loud numerous times. And that's thanks to Until Dawn writer Graham Resnick and his co-writer Alex Farnham, who began with a more traditional 90-page screenplay, which quickly ballooned into a 1,000+ page behemoth, which was a little daunting for the actors.
I think I did pretty well. I got to like page 320 and I was like, I'm done. Like, I can't.
But that was still well under Until Dawn's Guinness World Record-breaking 10,000 pages, though that number may have been a bit of an exaggeration.
But it also says, Resnick claims that it's 10,000 pages. We could only verify 2,000.
Unfortunately, the line goes dead midway through their call.
What are you doing?
I don't know, it's what they do in movies when the phone goes dead. You tap on the little thingy.
We're not in a movie.
However, these two have been in movies. Dylan's played by Miles Robbins, son of Susan Sarandon and Tim Robbins. You know, Jessica Lockhart and Phil Blumbert, respectively. He's been on the kill count in Halloween 2018. And Ryan's played by Justice Smith, who previously screamed his way through Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. The lights cut out.
Maybe it was the bears.
And why does everyone blame everything on bears?
Which is a very good question, because this entire game, they have not stopped talking about bears.
Have you ever seen a bear in these woods?
Did a bear do this?
Bears.
Bears? Here?
Are you sure they're gonna think it was a bear?
Well, it was probably just like a bear.
Help, help, my friends may have been attacked by bears.
I mean, there's vicious bears.
Hands! I need hands!
Yes, chef.
I know it's a popular show, but no chef, no more bears. The boys then head to the camp's radio station to try 911 again, leaving the extra gun with Caitlin.
Still have mine. If you're extra nice to me, I might let you hold it.
Don't write a check that your ass can't cash.
My ass has got quite the bank account.
Ooh, time for boy kissing!
Am I interrupting something?
Yes, you are! Get out of here! Sorry. I just get so passionate about Rylan. In fact, it was their relationship that drew Robbins to the game in the first place. He was excited to play a kind of pairing you don't normally get to see in a horror story.
Hands have touched. Touch my hand. Here we go, Rylan.
Meanwhile, Emma's exploring the island, logging the experience for her socials with bizarre mouth movements that feel wrong, probably because her tongue never moves, unlike Nick's.
He just had his tongue down my throat, and he definitely knew what to do with it.
Emma's an influencer and uses her time to rant about her relationship with Jacob, but also reveals some human layers to her mean girl persona.
Abby sees me as this confident person, but really? I'm just desperate to stay afloat in a world where everyone wants to be different.
It's a nice moment that shades these characters more than the horror archetypes of Until Dawn, and you can quickly go from disliking to loving them.
The whole point of these games is that they redeem all the characters so you feel bad about them dying.
Her Therapy Thursday post leads her to an existential and physical fork in the road.
I guess since this isn't live, the choice is up to me.
No, it's not. It's up to your puppet masters. Go right, I say. Go right. Eventually, Emma continues our tour at the island's treehouse.
Constructed in the year 1800 by a blindfolded man who used only the finest rotting wood, rusty nails, and donkey spit that money could buy.
And subscribe. Sure, I still won't get notifications though. The treehouse contains a duffel bag and a trap door. Something about this feels familiar. Oh yeah, best to search that duffel. It gives us fresh clothes, a taser, and some bear mace. Now that we're armed and fabulous, we open the trapdoor to reveal our shirtless, darkened shape's true form. A shirtless and pantsless monster! I salute you, creature! And they absolutely would have killed us before, but since we're armed now, we just spray and sprint. We pass all the necessary QuickTime events for Emma to run in a big circle, doubling back to the treehouse roof to find the zip line predicted by the tower card. We manage to ride to the other side of the lake without falling to our deaths, while the monster taunts us with its actually moving tongue. And I want to shout out actor JJ Dunlap for voicing and motion capturing these decenty dudes. Creature actors are just the best. Chapter 5, White Noise, opens not with Michael Keaton, but with Abby tending to an injured Nick. Caitlin updates them on Ryland's plan, but it must be Christmas, as up on the rooftop we hear a click, 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 causing Caitlin to leave Aussie Nick. Turns out it's Bobby patrolling the house, and after a brief game of Catlin and Mouse, this Bobby proves to be no idiot, taking her gun and knocking her down the stairs. While waiting out the commotion, Nick fails to read the room, confessing his feelings for Abby.
Kind of felt like a little bit more was gonna happen.
Well, did you want a little bit more to happen?
Duh, are you dumb?
Hey.
Yeah, don't be a dick, Nick. Caitlin rejoins them to hide from Thumper, but when the big man gets grabby with Abby, Nick hulks out and lifts him one-handed. Seems like he doesn't know his own strength though, so we decide to let Evolution star Ethan Suplee go. In the meantime, our favorite couple head to the Radio Shack to get their free monthly battery. And along the way, we learn more about Tim Robbins' son. No, not that one. Turns out he's actually studying quantum physics, a sharp contrast to his jokey persona. Yet another example to all the layers these characters have. Now get to boy kissing, you two. Sadly, they don't, but do find some scary claw marks. Oh, Dylan, better send out an SOS.
Hello, how's it going out there? This is, we need help. This is, we are counselors at Hackett's Quarry summer camp, and there's been a horrible accident, attack, some stuff bad here. We need your help. There is a swarm of bears.
Enough with the bears! There are no bears! But hey, maybe he just said that because Robbins actually improvised this hilarious distress call.
Swarm of bears?
Yeah.
Herd of bears.
Yeah, I've heard of bears.
God damn, that is such a good joke. Instead of finding help, they pick up the signal from the hunters, who have come to bring disharmony to their hut. They try leaving, but they're pinned in place by one of the creatures, who skitters up onto the roof. Dylan hatches a plan to scare it off by playing a feedback loop through the speakers. Unfortunately, their rooftop tappers disconnected the wire. That means Dylan will have to reach up and manually fix it. And that goes about as well as expected. With his bite mark burning, Dylan begs Ryan to...
Cut it off! Cut it off!
and Ryan obliges, using a nearby chainsaw in a clear homage to Evil Dead 2, both in look and brand. While the Quarry's got plenty of blood and guts, Biles wanted to keep it fun instead of gross, leaning into inspirations like Evil Dead 2 and Supernatural. Ryagan is able to break the quiet of this place, blowing out the speakers and sending the creature away. Oh, sorry Dylan, can't really cover up that other ear, can ya? With the threat gone, everyone catches up outside, but they're interrupted by gunshots. They then spot a mysterious girl running away from the cabins.
Is that Molotov cocktease?
Huh? What? What did you just say?
Nobody watched Venture Brothers?
I did! Go Team Venture!
The Quarry Scoobies go bobbing for butts at the pool, finding a dead bobbing body butt, who Ryan identifies as Mr. H's daughter, Kaylee Hackett. It's a big bummer for Ryan, but hey, at least Eliza seems happy.
Looks like that's one less vermin in the world.
Ooh, geez, Mrs. Ross, you sound like you found George Costanza in the pool.
I was in the pool!
Chapter 6 offers some prayers by night and a clue to the game's monsters if you're up on your universal horror knowledge. Jacob's been wandering around in his underwear and shoving evidence into it, gross. He then finds his co-star's tarot card before finally reuniting with Emma. And the creature! All right, Jacob, it's time to save the woman you love!
Jacob!
Sorry!
Jacob! It chases this coward directly into a pigunji stick, which I'm gonna say is the same one we already counted, since Emma finds the rest of its body later. But no sign of its little piglet. Oh, this is the owl bear from Baldur's Gate all over again. Jacob gets caught in a bear trap. Something he was quite good at on set, since Tinker broke his thumb for real while mocapping this chase, but kept quiet so he could finish it.
We just iced it in between takes and it was gnarly.
Unable to free himself, Jacob's treated to a frank blackout. Back at the pool, Nick is getting all sorts of horny.
Nick, what do you...
I want to taste you.
Hi, I'm disgusted.
Yes, that is Ariel Winter from Modern Family playing Abby, whose previous video game experience includes voicing young Kyrie in the Kingdom Hearts series. Abby tries to cool Nick off by sending him soaring into the pool. Oof, okay, too much chlorine, I guess. So the gang takes the Wicked Witch of Westralia away to dry off. However, he's not super grateful.
I only ever hung out with you because you seem so desperate. Poor, pathetic little Abby ready to throw herself at the first guy that came along.
By the time he's tossing Abby across the room, it's pretty clear Nick is quite sick. So she gives him his shots. In response, Nick explodes in a cloud of blood. Like ya? Completing his werewolf bar mitzvah. Spooky scary. Yep, if the clues, bites, and endless shots of the moon throughout the game haven't given away by now, we're dealing with werewolves.
What? Who? When?
Why?
No, werewolves. Werewolves. Though you'd be forgiven for not realizing, considering these guys look as hairless as Until Dawn's Wendigos. While it hasn't been confirmed, a later line about their smell.
I remember the steps and a smell like wet fur.
And other inconsistencies in the game have led fans to speculate the werewolves were intended to have some fuzz. Probably one of the many elements left on the hair cutting room floor due to this game's truncated 3-year development cycle. Of course, that wet fur smell could have also been Ian the sheep. I miss him. Bah hoo hoo hoo. For the transformations, Biles wanted to avoid a rehash of an American Werewolf in London, instead opting for a more magical transformation inspired by Ready or Not. Magical. The newly transformed Nick leaps out the window and escapes into the night. Later, Emma witnesses him being captured by Lance Henrik and Son. They very nearly catch her too, but she manages to evade them like video game Jason with her fireworks. She makes it back to the lodge, but finding it empty, decides to hide out in a van, not down by a river. The counselors left at the pool house are trying to figure out what the hell is going on? Luckily, Molotov Cocktease is back to tell us.
What did you just say?
Right, it's actually Laura who's looking a little worse for wear after 2 months of her absence, that she tells us all about in Chapter 7. We pick up right after the prologue with Laura and Max now in jail. If you remember, Max got bit at the beginning of the game, so we know what's up when we see this blood mist. Yep, he's become an OP Diablo 4 necromancer. Travis interrogates Laura and lets her know what kind of trouble she's in.
You just stepped in some grade A double prime
Go ahead and kill yourself cosmic type shit, young lady.
But please don't. I really don't want to be age restricted. Laura surmises that Travis is Chris's brother, but she's locked up again before she can get any more answers, like whether or not there is a spoon. However, between the full moon, the dog monster, and the fact that Max's wounds have mysteriously healed, he uses his book smarts to figure it out.
Maybe there's a slight chance it was a werewolf.
Laura in the past and the counselors in the present react with disbelief.
Do you got anything better? I mean, like zombies, aliens, time-hopping Draculas?
There's no such thing as time-hopping Dracula.
Soren, you have to come back with me.
Back where?
Back to my coffin.
No, I'm married.
Well, I tried.
Their werewolf theory is confirmed once the next full moon rolls around and Travis gives Laura a front row seat to what they're dealing with.
I'll be back at dawn.
Almost said the wrong game there, Travis. Max huffs and puffs and blows his skin off, and unfortunately for Laura, she's seated in the slash zone. Yeah, I bet you wish you'd stayed at the Harbinger Motel now, don't you? Hi, I'm Crazy Boff, co-owner of the Harbinger Motel, and I'm here to warn you about the high price of travel. Yes, sir, you won't find any place cheaper or safer than the Harbinger Motel. Much safer than spending the night at Hackett's Quarry. That place has got a death curse. Unlike our fine establishment, which includes a 3-star continental breakfast and a complimentary airport shuttle service for all our guests. So come on down and check into one of our fine rooms. Rooms. We have rooms. The Harbinger Motel. You'll wish you'd stayed the night. Files cast actress Siobhan Williams as Laura based on her performance in Deadly Class, where she played neo-Nazi cheer assassin Brandy. What a terrible multi-hyphenate! Williams trained for the role by replaying Until Dawn and Resident Evil 7, and filmed 40 to 50 pages a day with the help of Biles's flowchart of choices, in which they'd film to a certain point, then freeze and film multiple options, sometimes with very different emotional choices. Williams is also a singer, and her song Everything is featured in a rare ending with Laura and Max. Max is played by Skylar Gisondo, who I absolutely loved in the Santa Clarita Diet, and most recently is seen as Jimmy Olsen in James Gunn's Superman. Yes, the man that gave us this did Superman. Anyway, we can—
Whoa! You didn't mention that Skylar's in Righteous Gemstones.
Oh, I've actually never seen it, so—
Oh, he's really good in it. He plays like a stunt guy. Do you want to watch it?
No, I'm kind of doing a kill count right now.
Maybe after?
Yeah, we'll watch it after.
Okay.
I love that guy. Laura patches herself up and tries to call for help, but they only have a black phone.
Hello?
Hang up, the Hag of Hackett's hotline is $4.99 a minute. Logging onto Travis's woefully outdated computer lets us listen to another episode of Bizarre Yet Bonafide.
Some hay bales caught fire during the opening night, and that spread pretty quickly. Before they knew it, the whole place was up in smoke, including the show's leading lady and her alleged baby boy.
Ooh, exposition-y. And the hosts are actually played by comedians Brian Murphy and Emily Axford, who are best known nowadays for their work on Dropout's D&D show, Dimension 20. Laura then finds a needle full of James' catchphrase. The next morning, Travis arrives, surprised to see that Laura didn't escape. Her decision to stay and help Max earns his respect, and Max's Until Dawn Josh cosplay earns my respect. Travis then opens up about the Hackett's battle against the werewolves, in a great scene that really shows Travis's conflict between his morals and his desire to protect his family.
If your whole family, like every last one of them decided to jump down the bottom of a well and they're all just hanging on the end of a rope, how can one person be expected to pull them all back out? You can't.
Raimi had recently collaborated with writer Graham Resnick on the Shudder series Dead Wax, and loved his work so much he agreed to be in the Quarry without even reading the script. I mean, which makes sense, because it's like a fucking 1,000 pages. He knew it'd be difficult to portray Travis as sympathetic, considering a lot of folks' attitudes towards cops.
If he called me ma'am one more time, I was gonna shove that badge up his dick hole.
Still, he dove in and made the character all his own. They even rewrote Travis's dialogue after the initial table read in order to match Raimi's voice. Travis gives Laura their only guide, an old monster hunting manual which, like all werewolf lore, is presented in rhyme.
When moon is full before its wane, rend the beast that cursed you slain.
it's still better than Vogon poetry. But in layman's terms, the only way to cure Max is to kill the werewolf that bit him during the full moon. Travis wants to team up to hunt the big alpha wolf, but that doesn't make sense to Laura. After all, the werewolf who bit Max was clearly already captured. She gets her answers the next day when Chris visits the station, pissed that his cop brother's keeping captive counselors. Their conversation gives Laura a realization.
Chris Hackett is the one that bit you down on the storm shelter.
Holy shit!
Turns out Mr. H is a big bad wolf, which is why Travis wasn't willing to kill him earlier. Laura doesn't have those qualms, so she hatches a plan to escape. She pretends to be sick, giving her the opportunity to give Travis a taste of his own medicine. Oh hey, at least lay him on the ground. Man's neck is gonna be killing him when he wakes up in that position. Laura and Max make a break for it, with some ghostly voices leading them to the station's silver shotgun shells. Since werewolves are allergic to water, is that true? Laura smartly left Max on the island. He's actually the werewolf that attacked Emma earlier. Or maybe he was just coming onto her, because we all know Jimmy Olsen fucks. Laura returned to check on him after shooting Kaylee, but quickly realized she killed the wrong wolf when she found her boyfriend still in beast mode.
Now, isn't that just pride?
During the chase, she received a bite on her arm, and since we're good people here at Dead Meat, we do the honorable thing and reveal it, leading to a standoff. It doesn't last long, since Chapter 8 sends the characters to the belly of the beast, and this live stream sent the Dead Meat team into the belly of their closets to dress as characters from the game.
To justify the fact that I'm going to be sweating this whole stream, I'm going to stand up. I have the tights under the shorts, a classic of the mid-2010s.
Laura uses Abby's silver bracelet to give them some ammo of their own, earning her the right to not have a gun pointed at her. Ryan's not thrilled that she wants to kill his surrogate father figure, but agrees to take her to the Hackett house to see if they can resolve things with words. The Hacketts live in a creepy manor in the woods. While looking for a way in, the two fall through some rotten planks and into the titular quarry. Oh, better keep an eye out for Handigos, something Laura can actually do now, since her Wolverine healing powers have finally kicked in.
What big eyes you have, Grandma?
I'm sorry, I really liked Ryan's joke. Also, I want to mention that they kind of try to shoehorn Laura as a romance option for Ryan.
Are you flirting with me?
What? No.
But we're gonna ignore that since it's not Rylan. Also, might just be her horny werewolf side talking.
Werewolves want to fuck.
They venture through the quarry, which was a purposeful pun by Biles, as he liked the idea that as the game went on, the quarry stopped referring to a location and started referring to the characters. Laura uses her incoming werewolf strength to rip them a path to the Hackett's basement. There, they find a red-tinted dungeon.
Secret sex dungeon. Secret sex dungeon.
Which is where they're holding Jacob and Nick, who we saw thrown in there earlier. Laura very nearly executes Nick right then, but we press A fast enough to stop her. Then, in the game's most stressful puzzle, we have to figure out how to free Jacob without also releasing Werewolf Nick.
I worry about this.
This is not great.
There are plenty of ways to insta-kill Jakey here. But we managed to get him out without a scratch, and more importantly, without any clothes. Jacob then pop peanut butter pops off into the night. Upstairs, Travis returns home. Ooh, how's that neck, dude? He's come to deliver the news of Kaylee's death to his mother, Constance, who is a lovely woman?
Dumb fucking animal.
She takes it about as well as you'd expect.
Not my granddaughter. Not my only granddaughter. Not my Kaylee. Not my little Kaylee. Not my little Kaylee. Not my little Kaylee. You goddamn piece of shit!
Travis, for all his faults, is trying his best to keep his conscience clean. Because if it were up to Ma Hackett, she'd have executed Max and Laura on the spot. Turns out the Hacketts are a whole killer family. Bobby is Travis's younger brother. Jedediah is the Piranha 2 starring Patriarch. And Mama Constance is played by Lynn Shay, best known to horror fans from the Insidious franchise, and more importantly, while the counselors are fresher faces, Biles knew that he wanted to cast the Hacketts with genre mainstays, and they wrote the family with that gravitas in mind. Laura tries to eavesdrop on their conversation, but winds up getting snatched by Constance as Ryan escapes. Yep, should've cut that hair like Clementine. We then stop in for a chat with Eliza, who is clearly an homage to Maleva from the original Wolfman, the woman that forever cemented a connection between Romani fortune tellers and werewolves. We collected 3 tarot cards this chapter, but a glitch tried to get us to give in to our hate with the Emperor. But a hand vote led to the Vanna White side of the Force, showing us deaths for Ryan and Travis. Technically, it was a unanimous choice, so I'd like to buy a howl. Chapter 9, The Matriarch, opens with Dylan and Caitlin in the woods. Earlier, they'd split off with Abby to head back to the main lodge. There, they found Emma in the van, leading to an air freshener facial for Dylan. It's all in good fun, but this scene could have been very different had Emma been bitten during her initial werewolf chase. If she was, she'd have completed her transformation, leading to a fight that can see her killing Abby, or Dylan, or getting shot by Caitlin. It's a good example of why this game was so much more complicated than Until Dawn. The characters can not only die, but they can also be turned into werewolves at any point in the story. Fans of Until Dawn had always criticized its number of endings, so the team went overkill, resulting in a story with 186 different endings.
We have to look at how we make genuinely branching game without making it so ridiculously huge that it's unplayable or even unmakeable.
So they focused on creating different mini arcs for the characters that allowed the story to jump around, ensuring the game's momentum wasn't killed, even if some of the characters were.
So that means we can kill them whenever we like, and the story still stays whole.
The teens can't use the van to escape due to Jacob's so Caitlin suggests walking to the nearby scrapyard to look for replacement parts. She does said things she said with Dylan, while the other girls stay behind in the storm shelter. On the way, Dylan muses about getting a hook hand and solidifies his feels for Ryan.
Am I crazy, or was something about to happen?
This is always next year, right?
But I don't want to wait a year for boy kissing.
Well?
No!
Okay.
At the scrapyard, Dylan contemplates getting into this TARDIS and leaving the game behind. But then he spots the car they need, stuck up on a crane.
I actually used to be pretty good at the claw game at my local arcade. The kids used to call me the grabber.
Oh, Dylan, you do not want kids calling you that. As he's operating it, the scrapyard's motion lights reveal something coming towards them, and fast. Oh, that's so creepy. I love it. In one of the game's coolest sequences, Dylan uses the crane to lift Caitlin out of danger. The werewolf hops onto the car, and Caitlin screams, "Give me PTSD" from my playthrough of Saw the Game.
Hurry the fuck up! Hurry the fuck up!
We honk the horn to hurt its hearing, and Caitlin takes a tumble that probably should have killed her. Meanwhile, Dylan uses a makeshift MacCready munition to blast his opponent away. Of course, if he'd missed the QTE, we would have witnessed a truly depressing end to any more boy-kissing hopes. The skin wolf very nearly catches Caitlin on the ground, but we manage to drop the car and pin it down. It is freaking metal as hell, much like the soundtrack for this entire scene. Unfortunately, the car isn't the right kind of metal to kill the wolf, and they don't want to wait for it to wake up, heading back to the lodge empty-handed. Back in the storm shelter, Emma is acting like she just got back from the Helena Marcos Academy, and her behavior is never explained, but it could be an alternate universe leaking in, because if Emma had been bitten by Caleb earlier, this is where she would turn and potentially kill Abby. But in our playthrough, Abby passes the time discussing Emma's influencer career in a way that hits a little too close to home.
I make people laugh. I act dumb and they laugh. Maybe that makes me dumb? Or maybe I just like to make people laugh.
Abby then goes exploring, ignoring the hag behind her back at Quarry, and discovering a very important tarot card, the Hierophant, as well as a couple of silver shells, silver shells. At the Hackett house, Laura's been pulled up for a family meeting, but doesn't want to relinquish her right to bear arms. Not with so many bears around and... Oh God! Laura blows Constance's face clean off, or at least she would if the game didn't have a weird glitch that kept it intact. Which is a shame. I mean, just look at that gore that we can't show on the public version. Enjoy, patronists. It's a shockingly fast death for Lynn Shay, as evidenced by our live stream reaction.
Oh no! Oh! Oh! We killed Lynn Shay!
But I guess Laura did warn her.
Blow your fucking head off!
Bobby arrives having captured Ryan just in time to see Kerchak get pierced.
No more party. No more protecting anyone.
Laura runs before he can sick a pumpkin head on her, while Bobby disables Ryan with the most casual stab I have ever seen.
Well, we shouldn't have shot the mom.
Ryan stumbles his way to a dumbwaiter and takes it to the upstairs bedroom. But Bobby, looking like Buddy from Slaughterhouse, is coming after him. Ryan searches hither and thither for a way out before asking for advice from Mr. Hanky.
Hide-ho! Fucking hide, bitch!
So he does, evading Bobby and barricading him behind a door.
You can't hide from me in my own house, fucker!
You're a fucker.
Yeah! You're a fucker!
Yeah.
Laura, meanwhile, is being chased down by Jed. This ain't the Spencer mansion, so she avoids playing a Moonlight Sonata, but does find a hunting trophy.
There are bears around here.
Okay, there might actually be bears here.
Ow!
Admiral Hackett finds her and chooses the renegade option to shoot her in the chest.
I ain't got enough silver to kill you, but I sure to hell can make you suffer.
Laura then avoids getting stung by Carruthers' knife, but the lights overwhelm her werewolf vision? Is that a thing?
Who said that?
Laura cuts the house's power, inadvertently releasing Nick in the basement. And if we hadn't freed Jacob earlier, it would have been served up to Nick on a platter. Travis arrives to stop the fighting, allowing Laura to escape. Ryan's eventually cornered by Bobby in the courtyard, so he uses the one weapon he has.
Ow! You stabbed me!
Oh, no, now I feel bad.
Ow, it really hurts. Dad!
Oh my god, that is so good. Having unplugged his stab hole, Ryan is most certainly dying. Laura uses the last of her humanity to offer him a choice. Bleed out and die, or get a biteful of that sweet healing factor. Only that means he'll have to kill Chris if he wants to stay human. The Dead Meat team then unanimously accepts this bite of passage. And honestly, I don't see that many downsides to being a werewolf. I mean, you got super strength, healing, super horniness, you're good at basketball.
Plus, you get to date Selena Gomez.
That's a win-win. The Hacketts start closing in, so Laura hides Ryan in the attic. It's a lucky break since that's also where they're hiding their half an eight-legged freak.
I think we found Chris Hackett.
He rips through his chains like a My Pet Monster, but his weight causes the floor to collapse, depositing everyone in the middle of an all-out Hackett fight! Laura completes her transformation by wet wolfing just in time to sucker punch Travis. Because Ryan stabbed Bobby, he's too weak to fight off his brother, who rips him to shreds on the ground.
Ow, it really hurts. Dad!
And unfortunately, that leaves no one to protect Jedediah, as Chris bloodies Thalmer's face on the stone of the hearth. Ryan picks up the shotgun and prepares to shoot. Hold on, hang on, is that Chris or is that Laura? Because if it's Laura, Oh, the vision's come true! In the corner, Travis stabs Laura with a silver mirrored shard, killing her as well. But not before she swipes his head clean off and, okay, yeah, everyone's dead. Oh man, if only we'd listened to researcher Bella.
He tried to tell you to shoot. He had shackles.
And this is the canon playthrough.
Everyone in the chat's like, this is not canon.
Like I said at the beginning, whatever happens, happens. So I guess we can add Travis, Laura, and Ryan to... You know what? No, I am not gonna let this count. No, none of this works, because with no Ryan, there is no hope for boy kissing. Time hopping Dracula, get in here.
You want to come back to my coffin?
Still a hard no, man. I just need one little favor. As with Until Dawn, I'll be counting my specific canon playthrough. That means no restarting, no guides, whatever happens, happens, and whomever dies, dies. And that's final. Oh! Except for one mulligan, which we're gonna use right now for Rylan. You can let go now.
I don't want to.
In fact, the game actually includes a death rewind system that gives you 3 lives that can be used whenever a main character meets an untimely end. Of course, it's not available on your first playthrough, so it's really depressed the team.
Let's all just take a moment.
I'm disassociating.
Pour one out for everybody's living with the decisions that we have made in life.
But we don't! Replaying the entire chapter without changing a thing. So, Constance, Bobby, and Jed all go on the count. However, we will be making Dewey go kablooey in our one murder mulligan that I totally established from the start. This change in the timeline means Laura's cured before she can finish off Travis, exploding back to human form with underwear. Okay, I absolutely love this werewolf transformation, but how do you transform back to underwear? It's not even the same clothes she was wearing when she wet wolfed.
It's actually all in here.
Oh.
When the cursed sire has bit the dust, return to form, but cover boobs and butts. And the boy one's the same, but with wangs and nuts.
All right, thank you, Edison. Who knew? There are, of course, a ton of ways this scene can go, ranging from all the Hacketts surviving, Ryan bleeding to death, and Travis deciding to murder everyone anyway. Thankfully, we've picked the sequence of events that actually completes the full story. As everyone comes down from the fight, Travis reveals that Chris wasn't the werewolf prime of the family. His son Caleb was. Collecting that Hierophant card from earlier triggers a vision during our Sarah Palm reading that helps fill out the origins of the werewolf curse. Turns out Eliza's son was Silas the Dog Boy, an attraction in the Freak Show and the original werewolf in Hackett's Quarry. That also means this Freak Show came around in 2015? Okay, I'm pretty sure freak shows were banned in the 50s. But hey, if Elijah C. Scuggs can keep them going, who am I to argue? During the fire that burned down the harem scarum, Silas escaped, biting Caleb in the process, who then infected Kaylee and Chris. A newspaper clipping presumes that dozens were killed during the fire, but there's no official statement on the confirmed number. However, we can count the body Eliza actually finds, that of Travis's predecessor, Sheriff Hank. Now bury him in the royal family tomb along with the rest of the re-dead. Silas escaped during the chaos, and Eliza vowed to one day find him. That day is not today, as she's killed by the explosion, becoming the ghostly hag of Hackett's Quarry.
I told you never to say hag of Hackett's Quarry again.
Sorry, Caitlin. And if you've been wondering where you've seen Eliza before, well, she's played by the prolific Grace Zabriskie, who has been in everything from Twin Peaks to Child's Play 2 to the 1993 FMV game Voyeur. And funnily enough, she once played the adoptive mother of a werewolf boy in an episode of Tales from the Crypt. And that's what we call very specific typecasting. Travis and his family have been tracking Silas for years in an attempt to lift their family curse.
Anyway, there's sightings up and down the coast. Feral albino child, giant white wolf.
But wait a second, Ryan's seen a wolf like that earlier by the radio hut. Or at least a white-ish wolf? It's kinda hard to tell without the fur. Game. Realizing Silas is back in town, Travis proposes they kill him together to lift the curse for good. Chapter 10 starts with Max, who no longer be dog, having been cured when Chris was killed.
What the fuck? Why am I top of a fucking tree?
Honestly, not much happens here, but we do get a fun gag where Max is left with some ill-fitting clothes. Now you get it. If you thought that outfit was ridiculous, well, there's actually DLC that unlocks 80s outfits for all the characters. My favorite being Jacob, who looks like he's about to do a Super Bowl shuffle.
We are the best shuffling crew, shuffling on down, doing it for you.
There's an option to have Max swim to shore, but we decide Max has been through enough tonight. Good thing too, since that's a great way to immediately get him killed. Caitlin and Dylan finally make it to the main lodge. The two get to work clearing the building and naming their favorite streaming service.
Showtime, motherfuckers.
She finds more evidence, but is now done with this collectible system.
I threw it on the ground.
There's also a nod to Until Dawn that we didn't get to see in our playthrough.
You've never fantasized about being trapped on a remote ski resort in a snowstorm? The cable car is broken and you've only got each other for warmth. And when the food runs out, you've only got each other.
Weird fantasy.
But it's a really good game. Having successfully prepped, it's now boss battle time! And I guess we're fighting a Scooby-Doo painting? Oh no, it's Caleb. He's just kinda clip-ripping through the wall there. Akemi tells him to eat OLED, but unfortunately, the non-silver bullets do nothing. So back to the standard chase scene. Yeah, we get it. Abby and Emma are seeing the fight from the surveillance room and try to join with some very goofy-looking knocking. Knock. That's how they did it. If you want, you can go grab that silver shotgun shell Laura made for Abby and use it to kill Caleb. But we didn't want to kill the canine kid, so we joined Dylan in the kitchen for a Jurassic Park reenactment. We then head to the grill to grab the Easter Bunny.
There is no Easter Bunny!
Sorry, they head to the grill to grab the Saw Bunny and use it to lure Caleb into the freezer and lock him inside like he was Laura Croft's butler.
Yes! Come on, that's better than killing Caleb.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Jacob cries in the woods. Moving on, Travis, Laura, and Ryan are on the road to a no-hair werewolf. Little do they know, Caleb finds them first. Mind if I catch a ride? A parking brake sends him flying, allowing Travis to roadkill the caw canine. Unfortunately, the family car doesn't come in silver, so Silas escapes, injured but alive. As they track him into the woods, Laura suddenly recognizes their location. It's where she first saw Eliza way back in the prologue. The ghost talk sufficiently spooks Travis and team member Michael.
Oh, you motherfucker.
So Travis reveals the whole story. The fire that burned down the harem scarum was actually caused by Kaylee. She convinced Caleb to start it in hopes that the distraction would allow her to free Silas.
All she wanted to do was help that little boy. Locked in a cage by that freak show witch.
Instead, Silas attacked them, and the fire grew out of control, kicking off the events of the game. It's why Eliza's shown such animosity towards the Hacketts throughout the game. In fact, if you get our original ending where all the Hacketts are massacred, she is revealed to have masterminded the whole thing.
I knew that if orchestrated properly, the events of Hackett's Quarry would unfold just the way I wanted them to.
The trio eventually finds Silas healing in what's left of his old cage. Yeah, still does not look like a white wolf to me, but whatever. Laura feels some sympathy for the Baraka boy, but if she takes too long, it can end with all three of them being killed. Instead, as Eliza's ghost begs us not to, we shoot Silas dead, ending the curse once and for all. The game fades to our final meeting with Eliza, during which she curses us for killing her son.
Whenever you hear a noise in the dark, a whisper from the shadows, the breath on the back of your neck, that's gonna be me. I'll be there. Now I will never leave you.
She says that now, but I bet she gives up pretty quickly. And now that the monster's dead, the game is over. And we get bizarrely cheery music during this Animal House Mass Effect 3 extended cut epilogue. Highlights of which include Nick, who's been cured, Constance with her lying text, Jacob still being naked, and Caleb tragically freezing to death once the curse was lifted.
No!
What?
What?
So he died either way.
However, Caleb can be saved if Caitlin is infected and you fail the bunny button mash, getting her dragged in with him. And when Silas is dead, they're cured and Dylan will let them out. Unfortunately, Lara Croft's butler still dies. We then get a little extra epilogue over the end credits. Oh, and did I say little? Because this thing is 20 minutes long and involves the Bizarre Yet Bonafide podcast analyzing all our evidence. Sadly, we didn't collect enough, or the police wouldn't accept evidence that smelled like Jacob's junk, so all our surviving characters were arrested for murder. There are, of course, over 186 endings to the game, with some highlights including Max and Laura reuniting, a whole car crash, and more brutal Silas murder, Naked Wolf eating Emma, and finally getting some closure to Jacob's.
I did this for you because I care about you.
No, you fucking idiot. You did it for you. And the fact that you can't see that is 100% the reason I don't give a shit how you feel.
Wow, that's really cold.
When this is done, I never want to see or hear from you again for the rest of my life.
That's what you said the final time we made love.
And even with all these outcomes, this podcast ending feels a little unsatisfying, with, I guess, the best ending just showing a computer screen saying the kids were acquitted.
Is that it? Travis! Travis!
The kids may be incarcerated, but at least they're alive. However, let's shift the quantums in this quarry to see what could have befell them with a
multiversal murder montage!
Okay.
Here we go again, watching teams get super killed. In a supermassive game that's totally gore-filled. If Alex Dunphy had hesitated, she could have been decapitated. So many ways to see their blood spill. Don't use a knife, I wanna see you lift up owls. Grab your silver bullets to put the ow in howl. Slashed and smashed by massive paws, next to the sick British Santa Claus. Seriously, man, you might wanna get some help.
You would always find a way to work through.
Not from that guy. Caitlin's destroyed by a wolf boy. No, she slipped. Goodbye, Aunt Troy. Won't say your prayers cause you're gonna die tonight. Get away from Dylan, that's not the boy kissing a light. Watching kills makes me hungry. Maybe I should get something to eat.
Pop, pop, peanut butter, butter pops. Pop, pop, pop them in your mouth. Pop!
Okay, now I'm full. Let's watch more blood gore. Seriously, I can't see what's happening. Did my cataracts detach? Just like that dude's head. I should probably just subscribe to the Patreon.
Really nice killing you all over and over again. That's brilliant.
Even teens who are pure of heart and camp counsel for their summers may become victims on the count when we finally get to the numbers. Ow!
The hell? I stole the rotor arm so we could have one last day on the kill count set together.
Yoink!
No!
You look so young in that backwards cap.
You do too.
We counted 87 kills during our summer at Hackett's Quarry, 10 of which were people and 77 of them were animals. Though I guess some of them were animal people as well. Anyway, the genders break down to 8 males, 4 females, and 75 unknown skulls, giving us a pie as morally gray as our choices. So, how did our playthrough compare to others? Well, the least kills is tricky due to the branching paths, with some people living only when others die. But I'll say if you sacrifice Chris and Silas and save the remaining Hacketts and teens, that'll get you 83, which is mostly bastard Scullys anyway. And while it's quite difficult to kill everyone, you can walk a very specific path that'll get you 99 kills and a squirrel squishes 1. So with a playtime of 10 hours and 26 minutes, that gives us a kill on average every 7.7 minutes. I'll give the golden chainsaw for coolest kill to Constance Hackett. I know in our playthrough the game glitched and refused to show us the full kill, but man oh man, it is a Lynn shame we missed this insidious horror show. Dull machete for lamest kill will go to the animal skulls. They were just background decoration, and for all we know, they could have been bought at a Spirit Halloween clearance sale. Stupid counting everything rules I set up. And finally, the Butchered Butterfly Award for Best Potential Character Death goes to Travis getting shot in the face. And while I hate to see anything happen to horror treasure Ted Raimi, the way his head is splayed open like a bloody T-1000 is just incredible. Great work, Ted. And that's it. The Quarry came out in 2022, and even though its ending felt a little rushed, I loved it, and it stands as a super impressive, super massive game. Next month, I'll be catching a ride on the Giga Spider Express with Choo Choo Charles. But until then, I'm a man who made a mashup of Galileo and the Wolfman called Galileican, and this has been the Kill Count.
On the next Kill Count.
You heard it through the grapevine and the rumors are true. Club Juke, the hottest new juke joint in the Mississippi Delta, is open for business.
It's gonna be a real ring-a-ding-ding, just for us.
Enjoy some blues.
What the hell you know about the blues?
Eat delicious food.
What's in the jar? Pickle garlic.
And get as horny as you want. There is no limit. Seriously, people are horny here. This shindig is brought to you by the Smokestack Twins, back in town from the Windy City.
Charles supposed to be in Chicago working for Capone.
Everyone's invited. Well, almost everyone. On a night like this, you never know who might come a-knocking.
You're the devil, ain't you?
Not quite, but close enough. This Irish mofo's a vampire, and when you've got vamps, there's only one thing to do.
They gotta be killed, one by one.
This week, dance with the devil and watch one of the best films of the year in Sinners.
You keep dancing with the devil, one day it's gonna follow you home.
And on Friday, sharpen your stakes for the kill count, only on Dead Meat.
I'll do what I can.
No, you'll do what you told.
Sinners can currently be watched on the pictured streaming platforms. Dead Meat always recommends you watch the movie for yourself before its kill count. It's the only way to have your own properly informed opinion. Kill counts are never meant to replace the experience of watching a film.
Thank you for watching The Quarry. This was a very, very hard episode to do, right, Tim? You wrote the first draft.
So long, so many things.
There's only 186 different endings.
Yeah, only a 1,000-page script.
No wonder why we only do one of these at a time. And we also have writer Addison. Thank you for being a part of this as well. She helped write the Choo Choo Charles script that you're going to see next week. How do you feel about Choo Choo Charles?
I don't like it.
Excited for that. Here, make the boys kiss. This is probably the gayest episode we've ever done.
Feels weird.
In like a good way. I mean,
God.
this is great. I apologize for my pasty belly, but it's here. I did this for you. I walked out of my office, showed this to my wife, and she just went, "That's a choice." Do you have anything that you want to say to the people?
Pop, pop, peanut butter, butter pops.
Pop, pop, pop them in your mouth. And those dolls were actually made by Blue Wolf Angel. They're amazing. Thank you, Blue Wolf. And thank you and your brother for watching the channel. Really appreciate you. So thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.
Hey, can we watch Righteous Gemstones?
Okay, but I just need to say
Can we watch Righteous? You promised. It's on tape.
Okay, we'll watch Righteous Gemstones.
Let's do it.
Okay, everybody, go watch Righteous Gemstones. Be good people.